As the wife of the second-in-command of the gang, she is busy all day long. In order to let her attend my birthday party, I made an appointment 6 months in advance. I only made an appointment for her for 2 hours. But as soon as she arrived at the birthday party, the communicator sent a message. Husband, the ship transporting munitions was intercepted, and I need to deal with it. Next time I will definitely accompany you on your birthday. The daughter also turned and left with my wife. My mother and I will deal with it together, and I will give you the birthday gift when the time comes. Although I was a little disappointed, the incident happened suddenly, so I had to nod and agree. But after they turned around, I quietly followed them. I want to see which blind person dares to stop this ship where the gang godfather is sitting. What can this pair of nominal second-in-command mother and daughter handle? After Su Fanqing got in the car with her daughter, she was not in a hurry to leave. It was not until a vehicle carrying 9,999 roses arrived that Su Fanqing drove away. But she did not go to the ferry where the ferry ship was parked, but returned home. The villa was brightly lit, and the garden in the front hall was crowded. I wondered if they were going to prepare a surprise for me. But when I got to the main hall, I found Su Fanqing in the arms of a man in a suit. My daughter, who had never been close to me, also called him Dad with a smile on her face. The man was none other than Lu Yinian, a male college student I had rescued from the mountains. He had nowhere to go, so I took him to the Su family and gave him a job. But some time ago, he suddenly disappeared. I searched all over Hong Kong, but I couldn't find him alive or dead. I didn't expect that he was actually with Su Fanqing. Seeing them appear, the voices of envy rang out. I had heard that my brother-in-law was virtuous, not only helping Sister Xing in her career, but also taking care of her family. This is the first time that Sister Xing has brought her brother-in-law and daughter out to show up. If it were me, I would have to hide such a good man who is willing to pay. Sister Xing is so lucky. Su Fanqing stood in the middle of the crowd, hugging Lu Yinian's waist, enjoying the compliments of everyone. Of course, being with Yinian is the blessing I have cultivated for 10 lifetimes. Now I am pregnant, and I hope everyone will come to support me when the baby is born. Lu Yinian looked at her with emotion, but I just felt cold all over. I couldn't help but rush out anymore. When my daughter saw me, she hid behind Su Fanqing with panic. Why are you here? I sneered. Why, I shouldn't have come. I disturbed your good things. Su Fanqing, who was hugging Lu Yinian, had a trace of guilt in his eyes and was about to explain. Lu Yinian suddenly stopped in front of him, his eyes filled with tears. Brother Yin, if you have anything to say, come to me, don't embarrass them. I sneered and slapped him in the face. Who do you think you are? And you are worthy of calling me brother. Did I save you so that you can sleep with my wife? When the people below saw this scene, they took a breath of cold air and looked at me with pity in their eyes. Where did this lunatic come from? He dared to hit my brother-in-law. Doesn't he know Sister Xing's methods? There was a little brother who was rude to his brother-in-law and was thrown into the dark area by Sister Xing for torture. After 3 days and 3 nights, he had a mental breakdown and committed suicide not long after he came out. Yes, he dared to hit his brother-in-law. He really wanted to die. I ignored the ridicule of those people and turned to look at Su Fanqing. You also think I shouldn't hit him, right? Su Fanqing grabbed my hand, frowned, and was about to speak. My daughter rushed out and pushed me. Get out. You are not welcome here. Don't disturb our family. Your family. My pupil shrank slightly and my voice was hoarse. I raised my daughter with my own hands. She was awakened by nightmares, and I stayed with her all night and told her stories. She caught a cold and had a fever, and I took her to the hospital to take care of her in extreme weather. She once said that I was the one she loved the most, but looking at the hatred in her eyes now, I felt that the pain in my heart made me almost suffocate. You said you are a family, then what am I? My daughter paused, and there was a trace of guilt in her eyes when she looked at me. Lu Yinian suddenly covered his face and started crying. Gu Xian, I risked my life in the mountains to rescue you from the hands of several old ladies who wanted to violate you and let you live in the Su family. But I didn't expect that you would have such thoughts about Fanqing and even become a man who wanted to interfere in other people's marriages. Su Fanqing was stunned, and his face changed again and again, but then he immediately pointed at my nose and said angrily, Yinian is kind-hearted and won't bother with you. Give up. I will only love Yinian in this life. As long as you get out now, I can forgive you for hurting my husband just now. Otherwise, don't blame me for being rude to you. I just felt the blood rushing to my eardrums. The two of them put my identity on Lu Yinyan's head. I turned to look at my daughter, but saw that my daughter dodged and turned her head to the side. Don't make a fuss. He is my father. There was a lot of discussion from the bottom. This man is really crazy about getting promoted. How can a daughter not recognize her own father? This man is here to cause trouble. How shameless. He must be jealous of Sister Xing for treating my brother-in-law so well. He must be so anxious. He was accused of causing trouble and being a mistress for no reason. I was so angry that I laughed. Lu Yinyan, I arranged a place for you to live and a job, and you said you would repay me by working like a cow and a horse. This is how you repay me. You took away my identity, slept with my wife, and let my daughter call you dad. Others did not believe it and spoke up for Lu Yinyan. Okay, stop pretending. Just apologize to your brother-in-law. This matter can still be discussed. Yes, my brother-in-law and Sister Xing are a young couple. They have been through hardships. Everyone in the Fire Phoenix gang knows how virtuous my brother-in-law is. You are so shameless. You are crazy about getting promoted. Apologize and get out. Young couple. They have been through hardships. I was even more angry and was about to tell the truth. A fat and greasy man came over and grabbed my wrist with a lecherous look. Although my status is lower than Sister Xing, I am at least a middle-level leader in the gang. I have seen many men like you. Don't you just want to eat gigolos? He stroked my wrist with a smirk on his face. Don't worry, as long as you serve me well, I will let you be my 88th little lover. As he said, he even touched my body and began to tear my clothes. I desperately called for help, but it attracted more teasing. Sister Wang played so big. She was going to execute him here. Don't play him to death. Don't say that this man has a good figure. Let me try it after playing. The sticky eyes fell on me, and I asked hoarsely, Su Fanqing, we have been married for 7 years. When I met you, you were still a poor girl serving dishes in a restaurant. I recommended you to join the first gang, Fire Phoenix. I even helped you win over your men and run business accounts. I have never done anything to let you down, but you treat me like this, right? And you? What have I done wrong to you that you actually want to recognize another man as your father? Su Fanqing looked unhappy. Don't talk nonsense anymore. I only have Yinyan as my husband. My daughter also looked disdainful. You are not worthy of being my father. I pulled a reluctant arc at the corner of my mouth, and my whole body seemed to have lost all the strength. Lu Yinyan listened to my words and laughed. Xing can get to the second helper today because of herself. Gu Xian, please don't flatter yourself. Okay. Do you really think you are a great guy? You got to this point by yourself. Su Fanqing, who doesn't even know how to use a gun, how dare she say that she got to this point by herself? If I didn't love her back then, I saw that she wanted to make a name for herself and used my power to let her join the first gang, Fire Phoenix. Otherwise, with her mediocre skills, how could she join us? In order to support her, I tried every means to give her important but not dangerous work without leaving any traces. Let her be the second in command in just a few years. It's just that I didn't give her real power. After all, transporting arms and planning gangs are not simple matters. Su Fanqing's face was not very good. I thought you just loved me too much, but now it seems that you really have a problem with your brain. The guests all began to agree. Yes, this man is crazy. Besides, it has been my brother-in-law who has been with Sister Xing all these years. He is nothing. Su Fanqing raised her chin with a gloomy look. I wanted you to leave in a dignified manner. Since you are so ungrateful, you still want to slander me. She waved her hand, and her men rushed out immediately and surrounded me. Breaking into the villa without permission will be punished with whipping. I was forcibly grabbed by the arm and forced to kneel on the ground. I struggled in vain and looked at her with gritted teeth. You will pay the price. Still talking stubbornly. Su Fanqing's face sank, and her daughter quickly kicked me. How about this? Lu Yinyan covered his mouth and smiled. If you kowtow to me, I will give you one less whip. Don't even think about it. Lu Yinyan's expression immediately changed to a tearful look, and he threw himself into Su Fanqing's arms. Su Fanqing comforted him softly, and when she looked at me, her expression was only indifferent. 99 lashes, not one less. Whoever can torture him to tears will be rewarded with 1 million. The cheers of the crowd rang out, and my heart sank to the bottom of the valley. I gasped violently and shouted loudly, "Let me go! You are breaking the law." But they sneered and continued to walk towards me. I didn't care about hiding my identity anymore, and shouted loudly, "I am the Godfather. If you touch me, my personal guards will not let you go." As soon as the voice fell, everyone laughed. Su Fanqing looked down at me condescendingly. I have been under the Godfather for so many years. How could I not recognize his figure? You dare to pretend to be him and disrespect him. This time I will punish you for her. My face was as pale as paper, and I pushed her away with all my strength, tore open my collar, revealing a large totem on my chest. This can be proved, right? There were gasps coming from below. It can't be true. This is exactly the same totem as the boss said. Could he really be the Godfather? Su Fanqing was stunned, and a sarcastic smile appeared on the corner of her mouth. She said impatiently, "Gu Xian, you are not done, are you? Why haven't I seen this thing on you before? Where did you get the tattoo?" I endured the pain in my body and choked. "How do you know if I have it? Have you seen it? Doesn't it have nothing to do with me?" Su Fanqing pursed her lips tightly, her eyes full of coldness, just when the atmosphere reached freezing point. Lu Yinian suddenly pulled down his dress, and on his chest was a tattoo exactly the same as mine. I looked at him in astonishment with wide eyes. He smiled meaningfully. "Isn't this a new type of tattoo that has just been launched in the street tattoo shop? If you have a tattoo and you are the Godfather, then I am also the Godfather. I didn't expect you to be so shameless. Not only did you want to pretend to be my wife and daughter, but you also dared to disrespectfully pretend to be the Godfather." Everyone was talking about it. I believe my brother-in-law, and as the second in command, how could Sister Xing not recognize the Godfather? This man is really crazy. My heart fell to the bottom, and those people began to want to pounce on me again. In despair, Su Fanqing's men suddenly came to report. "Sister Xing, the Godfather is here to celebrate the birthdays of my brother-in-law and the young master." The atmosphere suddenly became hot, and everyone whispered to each other. There were even a few fanatical admirers of the Godfather who had already started to touch their chests in front of the door. Lu Yinian tidied his collar, stepped forward, and took Su Fanqing's arm, and looked at me provocatively. "The Godfather is here, you faker, just wait to die." I stared at her intently. The tip of my tongue was filled with the taste of blood. "Lu Yinian, you will regret it. You dare to be disrespectful to Yinian." Su Fanqing glanced at me with disgust and ordered his men, "Tie him up and take him to the Godfather for disposal." I struggled desperately, but someone covered my mouth. I could only watch as a middle-aged man and his personal guards walked in majestically. There were sounds of inhalation from below. Sister Xing is really prestigious. These are personal guards who only obey the orders of the Godfather. It is said that the combat effectiveness of this personal guard can destroy a country. This pomp is unique. It is really a blessing to be able to follow Sister Xing. Su Fanqing unconsciously straightened her chest. The middle-aged man pulled his daughter to his side affectionately with a kind face. "I heard that it was your father's birthday, so I came to congratulate you. Where is your father?" Hearing this, Su Fanqing felt even more proud. Her daughter was also excited and pointed at Lu Yinian and said, "Dad is there." The man looked in the direction of his daughter's finger. When he saw Lu Yinian, his beard trembled. Lu Yinian didn't notice anything wrong. He stepped forward with tears in his eyes and said, "Godfather, I didn't expect you to think so highly of me that you would even come to my birthday party." But the man's expression became more and more gloomy after hearing his words. He asked his daughter sternly, "Are you sure this is your father?" Su Fanqing felt something was wrong strangely and was about to say something. I saw Lu Yinian, with an excited look on his face, throwing me, covered in scars, in front of the man. "Of course, I am his father. By the way, Godfather, this man just pretended to be you, and I dealt with him for you. Do you think you are satisfied? If you are not satisfied, I will immediately ask someone to continue to deal with him." The daughter stepped forward and faced me directly, punching and kicking me, and complained to the Godfather viciously. "Godfather, this poor guy ruined Dad's birthday party today. You must vent Dad's anger." I vomited a mouthful of blood and looked up at the man. "Kneel down." Hearing this, countless people laughed out loud. Lu Yinian started to mock. "Are you crazy? You dare to let the Godfather kneel down for you? Don't you look at your own virtue? What qualifications do you have?" Everyone looked at me as if I were a clown. But the next second, I saw the Godfather in his eyes staggering back a step. He threw down the dragon head crutch and knelt in front of me without hesitation. He said to me, "Godfather, As soon as these words came out, the whole place fell into a dead silence. Su Fanqing was shocked and stepped forward to help the man up. You are really a joke. Isn't the godfather you? How could it be him? The man shook Su Fanqing off and looked at me nervously. Su Fanqing took a step back and asked me, You cheap man, what kind of ecstasy did you give the godfather? Lu Yinian held his daughter, and his face was not very good. I am the son of the top leader, and I have never seen him before. The daughter pouted her lips. How could he be the godfather? He is just a poor guy who stays at home every day. Enough. Did you get kicked in the head by a donkey? The man could no longer bear it and shouted angrily. Don't be disrespectful to the godfather. I said lightly, Uncle Zhou, stop kneeling and get up. Uncle Zhou then stood up humbly. Su Fanqing looked at me as if struck by lightning, still unable to believe it. You are really the godfather. How is it possible? Lu Yinyan's face changed several times, and he spoke confidently as if he had thought of something. Gusayan, don't fool yourself. This man is also someone you found to act. Where did you invite him to act so much like the godfather? The godfather is elusive and no one has ever seen him. So if you say it is him, then it is him. Stupid. The man looked at him as if he was looking at a dead person. Do you have any evidence to prove it? Lu Yinian stiffened his neck. The next second, he was slapped hard in the face. He covered his face and raised his head angrily, and saw that the top leader had appeared at some point and was staring at him coldly. You idiot. Lu Yinian looked stunned, and saw that the boss suddenly changed his smiling face when facing me, and said in a low voice, Godfather, I'm really sorry. I shouldn't let this bastard spoil your fun. I will clean up the mess and kick him out. Lu Yinyan's face was pale, and his knees were weak. He subconsciously wanted to grab Su Fanqing's arm, but Su Fanqing avoided him. Su Fanqing looked at me unnaturally, coughed lightly, and said these words. I rushed up and slapped him, and Su Fanqing's face tilted to one side. The cheek became red and swollen at a speed visible to the naked eye. I put on the black robe handed over by the personal guard. Su Fanqing, I have seen through you completely. You are a hypocritical and two-faced person. I have been married to you for so many years and have taken good care of you and our daughter, but you have kept a man outside behind your back. If I hadn't run into you today, how long would you have kept it secret from me? You even wanted him to pretend to be me and replace me. Aren't you just afraid that I will lose your face and affect your prestige? I am afraid of affecting other people's views of you. Listen to me, from now on, I don't want you or my daughter anymore. Su Fanqing reached out to grab my wrist, but I dodged. Listen to my explanation that I was seduced by that bitch Lu Yinian. She waved and called her daughter. Come on, daughter. We were just playing a little joke on Dad. Don't you like Dad the most? The daughter stepped forward hesitantly, and only at the hint of Su Fanqing's eyes did she reluctantly apologize to me. I'm sorry, Dad. It's all my fault, okay? I was just playing a joke on you. Wouldn't it be better if you told me earlier that you were the godfather? I closed my eyes, feeling extremely chilled. No need. We will sever our relationship from now on. Also, I glanced around and saw the pig-like Sister Wang at the edge of the swimming pool not far away. When she saw me looking at her, she was so scared that the fat on her face was trembling. She immediately rushed over and knelt down and kowtowed to me frantically. Godfather. It was all instigated by that bitch Lu Yinian. He said that after the matter was done, he would ask Sister Xing to give me a large batch of goods. He deceived me. Lu Yinian was so scared that he fell to the ground and dared not look at me. A middle-level leader. I kicked her in the chest. If this hadn't happened today, I wouldn't have known that there were so many scumbags in the gang. A hand suddenly overturned the long table next to him where the champagne tower was placed and shouted, Those who bullied the godfather today will pay the price. No one can escape. Before being dragged away, Sister Wang hysterically cursed at Lu Yinian. You bitch. It's all your fault. When you were in bed with me, you said one thing after another. Now you are pretending to be dead in front of me. I will never let you go even if I become a ghost. The whole audience was silent, and the daughter suddenly spoke viciously. You bad man. If you hadn't come here today, how could things have turned out like this? Aunt Wang is usually very nice to me. You should let Aunt Wang out quickly. I looked at this daughter who I had raised with untold hardships, and my heart was cold. Why didn't you say a word when he bullied me just now? The daughter spoke as a matter of course. It was you who spoiled the fun. He was just punishing you for the sake of justice. And you are fine, aren't you? I am your only daughter. You should be nice to me. Otherwise, there will be no one to inherit your position as godfather. I just like Uncle Lou. I want him to be my father. If you can give the position of godfather to Uncle Lou, I will reluctantly call you dad. Otherwise, get out. I don't want you as my father. I just felt a buzz in my head. I didn't want you a long time ago. My daughter was stunned and wanted to say something else, but Su Fanqing covered her mouth and pulled her away. After punishing all those who bullied me tonight, I left with my personal guards. I used the best painkillers in the private hospital, and the pain was relieved a lot, but I was still wrapped in bandages. After coming out of the ward, Uncle Zhou looked at me with distressed eyes. It's all my fault. I didn't come earlier and let you suffer so many whips. I didn't expect Su Fanqing to be such a beast. I shook my head and didn't blame you, Uncle Zhou. I didn't know people well. I was an orphan since I was a child and was picked up and raised by Uncle Zhou. Uncle Zhou worked under the former godfather at that time and held a not small position. I have had amazing talents since I was a child. After the death of the previous godfather, he passed on the position and the token to me. But I didn't want to show up in public, and Uncle Zhou also felt that there were too many enemies in the gang, so he simply became my puppet. I was free and idle, and it was an accident that I met Su Fanqing later. At that time, we were in the hotel where Su Fanqing worked part-time, talking about things. I asked the manager and found out that he was the top scholar in Hong Kong City. In order to raise medical expenses for his parents who died in a car accident, he chose to drop out of school and work. I softened my heart and secretly ordered someone to give her a sum of money. Later, we gradually came into contact, and I didn't reveal my identity to her. I used my connections to let her participate in the best projects, and she went smoothly all the way and finally became the youngest second-in-command of the gang. Fortunately, when I found out that Su Fanqing lied and was going to take charge, I contacted Uncle Zhou. Otherwise, I don't know what kind of humiliation I would experience today. I don't even know if I can get out alive. Thinking of this, I thanked Uncle Zhou sincerely. Uncle Zhou sighed. I treat you as my own daughter. You don't have to be so polite to me. The divorce agreement has been mailed for you this morning. I was a little depressed. After all, we have been together for so many years. It is not so easy to break up suddenly. I treated my wife, who supported me all the way, sincerely, and carefully educated my daughter, who was devoted to fatherly love. But they betrayed me together and chose another man. Although I don't regret the sincerity I have given, I was still greatly affected. As a result, Su Fanqing came to the door at night. The guard stopped her outside the door, but she refused to leave. She had to kneel at the door, kneeling and slapping herself while admitting her mistakes. In the end, I let her in and make a break together. Su Fanqing saw that I was covered with bandages, and guilt flashed in her eyes. She handed me a medicine bottle. This is the medicine I found specially, which is very useful for repairing scars. I threw it on the ground and broke it into pieces. I don't need it, just say what you want to say. Su Fanqing pursed her lips and smiled flatteringly. Xian, please forgive me. I have severed my relationship with Lu Enian. He has always told me that he is the daughter of the boss. I was afraid of offending him, so I was reluctant to be with him. In fact, you have always been in my heart. Think about it. We have a daughter, and we have to train her together to be your successor. I think it's ridiculous. Why didn't I know that you were such a person who would take advantage of the powerful before? You did it reluctantly. You made your daughter call him dad reluctantly. I don't believe that there is no credit for my daughter and I to be separated. Successor, what are you dreaming about? Sign the divorce agreement. We will have no relationship in the future. You are a rotten person. I am unlucky to meet you in this life. Su Fanqing's face sank and looked unhappy. Shinxian, I came to you in person to apologize, which is already my best. You are strong and not gentle and considerate at all. So what if you are the godfather? You are not a man yet. You can't take it. It's better to pass the position to me as soon as possible. We are still a family after all. My chest was heaving violently, and I pulled out the whip next to the chair and whipped her. Instantly, her skin was torn and I scowled. I tell you, Su Fanqing, don't take yourself too seriously. Without me, you are nothing. Maybe you are still somewhere, doing dirty work as a coolie. You still dare to dream of the position of godfather. Who gave you the courage? Take it easy. Are you flattered every day and blown up to the sky? Su Fanqing frowned. Can you not talk so harshly? I am discussing with you seriously. You don't look like a man at all. This is why I chose Enian. In this way, we will not divorce. Enian will be my lover, and I promise not to let him disturb you. In this way, the godfather and the daughter of the top leader are both my men. In this way, our relationship at the top will be firmly connected by me. I was almost laughing with anger. Is this big idiot crazy? Su Fanqing, do you need me to repeat it again? Without me, you are nothing. Do you really think you are someone very important? I can easily replace you with anyone. Su Fanqing clenched her fists, pointed at my nose, and cursed angrily. You still have the nerve to say that. We have been together for so many years, and we have children, but you still hide things from me. You are not sure that we can be a family. If you had told me earlier that you were the godfather, would these things have happened? You don't reflect on your own problems, but you scold me. Am I giving you too much face? My eyes were sore, and I slammed the table and stood up. You still have the nerve to mention these years. Then you kept Lu Enian as your lover without telling me. What do you think of me? You even want to drive me out together with my daughter. Su Fanqing paused for only 2 seconds, and then the anger on her face became even stronger. Why did I look for Lu Enian? This is the reason. Male chauvinism. You still don't know how to repent. I just felt that all the strength in my body was drained away. I turned around and drove the guests away. You three in the family, it's better not to bother me. Okay, who cares about you? You are just a godfather. Who knows how you got this position? You are right. I have already arranged for you to be the second in command. A more suitable person has come, and you are expelled. I picked up the glass on the coffee table, smashed it on her head, and yelled, "Get out." She covered her head in anger and looked at me with her bleeding head. When she wanted to say something else, she was dragged out by the guards who surrounded her. I thought I would never see Su Fanqing again until half a month later. My subordinates informed me that a cargo ship had lost contact. Lu Enian and the subordinates of the top leader also lost contact at the same time. There was a traitor in the gang, and these two followed Su Fanqing to rebel. That night, I received an anonymous letter. Come to Sihanoukville for negotiations at noon tomorrow. As long as you give me the token, I will return the goods to you. The next day, I went to the negotiation site with Uncle Zhou and the guards. Su Fanqing raised her nose to the sky, held Lu Enian in her arms, and spoke with a distorted face. Unexpectedly, Gu Xian, don't you think you are very powerful? I can't even keep my own subordinates, and so many people have followed me. This batch of your goods is very important. I advise you to be sensible and give me the token quickly, and then let me sit as the godfather. I don't mind letting you continue to follow me. Lu Enian said proudly. You really think you can threaten us? The daughter looked at Lu Enian with admiration. Only you are worthy of being my father, and that rubbish is nothing. The leader stood beside them and didn't say anything. I said nervously, don't touch that batch of goods. I brought the token. I didn't expect you to be so obedient. Su Fanqing's eyes flashed with surprise, and then the corners of her mouth curled up complacently. I said that men can't be godfathers, but you still come to beg me. Give me the token. I ordered the guards to hand over the box containing the token. Su Fanqing smiled with satisfaction, but just as she opened the box, a toad suddenly jumped out. Lu Enian screamed and hid behind her. Su Fanqing threw the box away with a gloomy face. You are playing with me. Don't you know the seriousness of the matter? Can you afford the loss of this batch of goods? She warned. I advise you to give me the real token as soon as possible, and forget about it this time. I sneered. You are dreaming. I would rather give the token to a dog than give it to you. Su Fanqing raised the button in her hand angrily. I tell you, I have buried explosives on the cargo ship. If you don't give it to me, I will detonate the explosives. I will drag you down with me even if I die. Not only this cargo ship, but I know the routes of other ships very clearly. None of them can escape. You can choose for yourself. Do you want to lose both sides, or give me the position of godfather, and we can live in peace and happiness? Lu Enian rolled his eyes at me. What are you talking nonsense to him? Can't you just blow up this ship directly? Otherwise he won't realize the seriousness of the problem. I exclaimed. No. Su Fanqing noticed my excited expression and immediately pressed the button. I collapsed and knelt on the ground. Su Fanqing was very satisfied with my reaction, and she slowly raised the corners of her lips. There are still 3 ships with bombs. You think about it carefully. I advise you to beg for mercy from me. I gritted my teeth and struggled for a long time before slowly speaking. No, the token is too important. As soon as the voice fell, Su Fanqing immediately pressed the second button and snorted coldly. The last 2. I covered my face in pain, but still refused to let go. Su Fanqing's patience ran out. You are so reluctant to give up the position of godfather, just a token. In this case, then I will not be kind to you. Amid my exclamation, she pressed the last two buttons. After the last button was pressed, I stood up calmly. Uncle Zhou bent down to help me brush off the dust on my body. Su Fanqing smiled meaningfully. Gu Xian, are you scared, silly? These cargo ships exploded. Do you know how big the hole you have to fill? I looked at her indifferently. I don't know how big the hole I fill is, but I know you are finished. Lu Yinian frowned. You are still stubborn when you are about to die. What are you pretending? My daughter also held Lu Yinian's hand tightly and looked at me with disgust. Su Fanqing felt a little uneasy in her heart and always felt that something was wrong. I just looked at him with a smile, waiting for the show to begin. Half a minute later, Su Fanqing's cell phone rang, and he smiled. Gu Xian, you wait. The cargo ship must have been successfully blown up. After he finished speaking, he answered the phone, and his face changed color almost instantly. He opened his mouth, looked at me with bloodshot eyes, and widened his eyes in disbelief. Gu Xian, you vicious woman. Are you behind this? I said innocently, what are you talking about? How come I don't know? Lu Yinian was also puzzled. What's wrong? Ah Xing, why can't I understand what you are talking about? Su Fanqing's expression changed several times in a few breaths, and finally pulled out a pistol from her waist and pointed it at me. A vicious light flashed in her eyes. You bitch. Go to hell. I watched her calmly pull the trigger, but only a few light sounds were heard. Su Fanqing pressed a few more times in astonishment, still no response. I sneered. Don't try. Traitor, we already knew your plan. Su Fanqing collapsed. She suddenly thought of something and turned to look at the leader. She saw the leader playing with a gun of the same model, but the difference was that the gun in his hand was loaded with bullets. Su Fanqing grabbed Lu Yinian's collar fiercely. You useless thing. Didn't you say he promised you? Lu Yinian looked at her in horror. I don't know. He clearly promised me. The leader walked up to me and looked at them expressionlessly. I only recognized my godfather. Lu Yinian's eyes went dark and he fainted. Su Fanqing's shoulders drooped, and Uncle Zhou kicked her in the chest. Trash. You don't know how to live a good life, but you have to cheat. Now you have nothing. You deserve it. I looked at the pictures uploaded on my phone and was very satisfied. All of Su Fanqing's explosives were secretly transferred to her property by us, and she blew up her own property and shops. She wouldn't have lived so badly after being expelled, but now she has nothing. Su Fanqing suddenly cried and crawled towards me. Si Yan, I really know I was wrong. Please forgive me. As long as you let me go back, I promise that I will be devoted to you. Lu Yinian, I don't want him anymore. I only have you in my eyes, and I will be devoted to you. She pressed her daughter to kowtow to me and admit her mistakes until the floor was covered with blood. But my heart had long since disappeared, not even a trace of ripples. Su Fanqing no longer had the courage to resist the day she and I got the divorce certificate. Her face was sallow, and with her daughter, the two of us who were once bright and beautiful looked like beggars. Su Fanqing asked cautiously, My daughter, and I miss you very much. My daughter looked at me timidly. Dad, can you take me back? I don't want my mother anymore. I can't even get enough food with him. I turned around firmly. I'm not your father. The next time I heard about them was on social news. The fact that their family of 3 had offended me spread in Hong Kong, and basically no one was willing to let them come to work. Later, in order to make a living, Su Fanqing forced Lu Yinian to work in the red light district. Finally, they came back with a lot of diseases, which caused Su Fanqing to get AIDS. They forced their daughter to pick up garbage to make money. The family of 3 was barely surviving, eating other people's leftovers in the trash can outside the restaurant every day. They couldn't even afford to rent a place to live, so they had to compete with beggars for a place. Finally, several people were imprisoned for robbery and died soon after. I turned off the TV calmly. Then I turned on the Chinese composition of the little girl I adopted, which scored full marks. The title was, I Love My Father.